Here's a question nobody asks at dinner. What if the fruit on your plate is eating you first? Take a bite of fresh pineapple. Give it 60 seconds. That tingle on your tongue, the faint burn, the feeling like your mouth is somehow rougher than it was a minute ago, that's not your imagination. And it's not acid. That's digestion, just not yours. Welcome back. Today we're solving a mystery that's been hiding in fruit bowls for centuries. Why the world's friendliest looking fruit is, at a cellular level, kind of a predator. Let's get into it. Every raw pineapple carries a weapon, and it has a name, bromelain. Bromelain is a proteolytic enzyme, a mouthful, but break it down, and it's simple. Proteo means protein. Lytic means to cut apart. So bromelain's entire job, its only job, is finding proteins and slicing them into pieces. Here's the part that should make you put your fork down for a second. Your tongue, your cheeks, the roof of your mouth. All of it is built from protein. Bromelain doesn't know the difference between a piece of steak and the inside of your mouth. To the enzyme, it's all just material to break down. So the moment you bite into raw pineapple, you rupture thousands of tiny cells and release bromelain straight onto your own tissue. It gets to work immediately, dissolving the protective mucus layer, nibbling at the surface cells of your tongue. That sting you feel isn't spice. It's the literal physical sensation of your mouth being digested in real time. You're not eating the pineapple. For a few minutes, you're both eating each other. This isn't a modern discovery. Long before any scientist had the word enzyme, indigenous peoples across Central and South America had already figured out what pineapple could do. They just used it as a tool instead of a threat. Wrap tough meat in pineapple leaves. Marinate it in the juice overnight. By morning, the meat is falling apart tender. They didn't know they were harnessing bromelain to dismantle muscle fiber. They just knew it worked, and they used it long before anyone in a lab coat had a name for why. The name and the mechanism didn't get pinned down until scientists finally isolated the enzyme in the late 1800s, catching up to knowledge that had already been in kitchens for generations. If you want proof of how serious bromelain actually is, look at the people who used to cut pineapple for a living. In canneries throughout the 20th century, workers handled raw pineapple by the ton, barehanded, for hours a day. Over time, something strange happened. The ridges of their fingertips started to disappear. The concentrated bromelain was quietly dissolving the outer layers of skin, and the workers' fingerprints faded, sometimes to nothing. It sounds like something out of a heist film, a criminal soaking their hands in fruit juice to beat a security scanner. But it was just an occupational hazard. The good news, it wasn't permanent. Once gloves went on or workers got a few days off, their fingerprints grew right back. Still, that's how much power is packed into something you'd casually eat off a toothpick. If pineapple is actively trying to break us down, why doesn't a fruit salad end in disaster? Two reasons, and they're both quietly impressive. First, your mouth regenerates fast. The cell's bromelain gets replaced within hours, long before any real harm is done. Your body is patching the damage almost as quickly as it happens. Second, the moment you swallow, the fight is over. Your stomach acid is far too hostile an environment for bromelain to survive in. It gets destroyed almost instantly. The enzyme that felt so threatening in your mouth doesn't even make it past your throat. If you'd rather skip the tingle altogether, you've got two options, one modern, one centuries old. Cook it. Heat destroys bromelain completely, which is exactly why pineapple never bites back. The pasteurization process kills the enzyme before it reaches you. Salt it. This one comes from Southeast Asia. Soak fresh pineapple in a light saltwater brine for a few minutes. The salt subtly reshapes the enzyme structure, disarming it without changing much about the fruit's flavor. Either way, the threat is neutralized, and you're left with just the taste. Pineapple isn't malicious. It's not trying to hurt you. It's just a plant that evolved a genuinely brutal defense mechanism and happened to end up delicious anyway. So next time you slice one open, give it a second look. You're not just eating a fruit. You're holding a tiny, edible predator that's been quietly disarmed by science, tradition, and a stomach full of acid. If you like digging into this one, hit like, send it to the friend who puts pineapple on everything, and subscribe to the logic of simple things. We find the strange science hiding in the ordinary stuff. See you in the next one.